Hi, this is 365801 and this is a video all about my physical TBR. So I actually tried to make a video a bit like this back in October 2021, but it kind of felt a bit overwhelming, a bit daunting. I started it, but I did not finish it. And in January, there were so many videos from booktubers doing this very thing, which was to actually make a list, a proper list of their physical TBR, going through their book or manga collections and looking at what they had read and what they had not read. And I actually have a very good way of doing this. If I had actually done it from the start, it would have made it really easy. That's to use my spreadsheet. Now I have a spreadsheet to keep track of my purchases and my collection, so I know what I've got in my collection and what I need to get to complete a series or to add to the collection. But I do have a lot of different columns which I can put some information into. And when I first made this spreadsheet way back, I don't know when it was, years and years ago, I did actually have a column that said read or unread. It just said read at the top, and I was supposed to just put a tick or a mark or something in it once I'd read whatever it was that I purchased. And I just never used it. I just had it there sitting and I never bothered to actually put any information in. So back in October I thought I'd sit down and actually try and start doing that. And so I have managed to do that for a few things, but I haven't completed it. So this is what this video is. Me going through my collection, my physical collection here in all of the drawers, and going through what I have read and what I haven't read. Now I'm really lucky the fact that most of my collection is organised by publisher within the drawers, so it's quite easy for me to then go back to my spreadsheet and then sort by publisher, and then I can just look at what I've got in my spreadsheet, what I've got in my drawers, and I can cross-reference them quite easily. So one of the easiest ones to do is Yen Press. So if I just go onto my spreadsheet and then I sort by publisher A to Z, then I can see Yen Press way down at the bottom, and it's quite easy to see if I have a lot or a few for different publishers. And I can see that for Yen Press I don't have that many. It's quite easy to see, from 1146 to 1162. So not terribly many. And I can also see if they're in this collection here, or if I have them in my other collection, which is at my parents' house in their loft. I have boxes and boxes of books and things. I've got a few videos showing some of those things, so I'll put a link in the description if you want to check out some of those videos. But it's really easy for me to then look in the drawer I have here and then see what I've got, and also to see what I've read and what I haven't read. So this is my drawer that has my Yen Press in it already, and I have been quite good about organising this particular drawer. Everything on this side I have read, except for these two volumes, if I just move them to the front. So this is everything read and this is everything unread. So I'm just going to take these out, put them on the table, go through what I've got on my spreadsheet and update it. And that's pretty much it. Quite easy. It's quite good to be able to see this. But this is the only drawer that I've done this for, Yen Press, because it's a small little collection of mine. And I haven't done it with any of the others. So that's what we're going to do today. Go through all my drawers and organise them by read and unread. And I'm unfortunately going to total them all up and see how much I have to read still. Now I'm quite lucky here. I have my stack and I can see where it is. These are all the red ones, and so on my spreadsheet I can then just go through each of them. I can have a look at my Lily Hoshino ones here and see where they are on my spreadsheet, and then just put them down as being read, and I'll see if I've already done that. So here I've got my Lily Hoshino, Mr. Flower Bride. I haven't put down which collection it's in, but I'm assuming this is number 2, because this is my second place for the collection. So I'm putting a number 2 in, and I put it down as being read. So that's quite good. The other one was Mr. Flower Groom. Now you can see I don't have it here in this collection, so I know that it's in my other collection, and I can put that down as number 1 because it's in my first collection, or the first location of my collection. And I have read that one as well. So I can go through what I've got from Lily Hoshino and also what I've got in my drawers. Now I also need to update the spreadsheet, so that might be something that I need to do. I do have, I think, The Betrayal Knows My Name, Angel of Valkenburg, A Tale of the Waning Moon, Rust Blaster. As you can see here, 1001 Nights, it just says 4, 5, 6 and 7, but I have other ones. I have 1, 2 and 3, so I need to update my collection here because I have them, but I haven't put them into my spreadsheet. So I also have the other Aki works, and I have some Hiro Arakawa as well, but I haven't put that in. So I'm going to add that into my spreadsheet as well. So that's what we're doing today. So obviously when I am putting in this information, I'm putting in the title, I'm putting in the author, I'm putting in the publisher, I'm putting in the year it was published, which I usually find on the information sheet. So this one you can see is May 2009. I'm also putting in the quantity. I only have 1 copy of these. This is really important to put in the quantity because you have to then change the quantity if you end up purchasing a duplicate, and it makes you feel bad, so you try not to do that. So yeah, I hate seeing 2 unless I specifically went out and purchased 2 of something. Then I put in the ISBN number. Now this seems like a little bit of overkill, but it also does make it easier for me to see things. If, for example, I'm purchasing something and it says it's it's a volume of a series, but it doesn't tell me which number of the volume it is. So it could be like volume 8 or volume 3, but it just says the title of the series. But if I can check the ISBN number, then I can see which volume it is that they're selling. That's something that's really useful for eBay or secondhand book sites, where they're not actually being very specific about which volume it is. So this is volume 1, and if I needed a volume 3 and I put in the ISBN, I might be able to find it. But I don't usually know the ISBNs until I've purchased it. And I don't want duplicates, so it makes sure that I'm not purchasing duplicates. I also put in the cost, where I purchased it from, and now I'm putting in where it is in my collection. If it's in this collection, number 2, or if it's in the first collection, number 1, and read or unread. So this is going in the unread pile. So I've been able to input all of the things that I have got from my read pile. Some of them are not actually BL, and so I'm not really sure if I want to keep them in this spreadsheet. So I'm going to color code them with a darker, richer sort of red, just so that I know they're technically not BL. And so they're not really supposed to be in here, but they are part of my collection, and I want to know if I've read them or not. And so I'm adding them in here just now and making sure that I can see them at a glance, and I can do that with the rest of the spreadsheet as well. But it does mean that I now have all of these to input to make sure that I've got them. So for example, Nabari no O by Yuki Kamatani, I have only got volume 1 and I haven't read it yet. I got the second hand. I think it might be quite tricky to get the rest of the series. I'd have to start properly trying to collect them. And I'm not entirely sure if I want to, because I remember being quite sad watching the anime. So, and also being very confused by it. So yeah, I can put this in because I definitely shipped the 2 main male leads 100%. Definitely. That's why I was recommended to watch it in the first place. But I haven't got it in my spreadsheet, so I need to add this to my spreadsheet. So I'm a little bit behind on actually adding in things to my spreadsheet as well. I noticed that I have got all the information for Monster and the Beast Volume 3 except for how much I paid for it. So I need to find out that kind of information as well to keep my spreadsheet up to date. So there's a few of these in this stack that I haven't actually added into my spreadsheet, so I'm going to have to do that as well. So it's quite nice to be able to see now from up here, A Polar Bear in Love, all the way down to The White Cat's Revenge. I've added them in, and I can see which ones on the side I have read and which ones I have unread. So there's not that many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the 3 from Ice Cunion. So it's quite nice to be able to see it quite easily laid out. There's a few things I still need to fill in, like where I bought something and how much it was. But I'm quite happy with this, and I'm quite happy with these standing out and making it obvious that they're not BL titles, so I can lift them from this spreadsheet and put them into another spreadsheet if I want to keep all my BL separate. But they are part of my collection, and I buy them because they have themes that I like. So yeah, they're still part of my physical collection. It's quite good to have a record of them so that I don't purchase more than one, or I know how much I have spent on them if I want to sell them on. So some of these I might sell on. For example, Caterpillar Girl and Bad Texture Boy here is one that I got really quite cheaply from eBay. I don't think it was very expensive, only a few pounds. And it was interesting and it was weird. But I've read it once and it's now been sitting in my collection. So this is the kind of thing that I'm like, well, it's not BL, I know it's not BL. It's got interesting themes and it's a really interesting story, but I don't think I will keep in my collection, so I can probably get rid of. The other one here is Ne Ne Ne, which I actually really love and think is super cute. And once again, this is one that I picked up from eBay, dead cheap. It does have some themes that I think I'm not terribly comfortable with, like the very young female protagonist and the male love interest, but nothing ever happens between them, which in the end I'm a bit disappointed at because they are super cute together. But it's the supernatural element that I liked, and I could have had much more of this, but they only, I think, ever released this one volume, and it's available digitally as well. So these are two that I've bought, purchased, read, and I can probably get rid of from my collection now. And it also lets me know which ones I want to try and see if I can get more of. So yeah, Yen Press drawer is now done. I can put it all back in, which is always good, and organise it in the drawer with the ones that are read and unread separated, so that I can decide what I want to read next from my unread instead of doing lots of rereads. So the next drawer I'm going to go through is another small one. I'm starting with small ones, so I'm feeling productive. And once again, it's fairly well organised. It's quite nice to look at, but the majority of the ones I've read are here. I've read all of number 6, both volumes 1 and 2 of Until the Full Moon. I've only read half of At Full Moon. I really need to do a read of this whole series properly again. And here I've got Hitorijime, and I've only read volume 1. I've only read volume 1 of Ten Dance. And so most of these I haven't read, but I am going to go through my spreadsheet and input that information so that I can easily see what I need to read and what I want to read. I might keep this drawer the same as it is just now, just because it's easy and it's nice and it's clean and it's organised, and there's all the larger trim and the smaller trim, and it just feels nice and clean. So I don't feel like this one needs to be organised any differently. But I will make sure I've got all this information in my spreadsheet, like all of my new titles here, which I haven't actually input yet. So yeah, that's what we're going to do now. So I've got everything here in my spreadsheet, and we can maybe make it a bit bigger so we can see things. As you can see, Descending Stories, we've got only the first volume. I don't know exactly when. I usually put in the year and the month, but we have the cost, which is only £3.94, and that it's unread. So this is everything. I've changed my publisher. Some of them just said Kodansha, now they say Kodansha Comics, so they're all the same. And some have actually gone in and been like, when was it published exactly? But here I can have all of these ones. I know which ones I have completed because they are in a kind of yellowy orange, and then the ones that I have to continue as a series that I'm still collecting is in the green, all the way down to Hitorijime My Hero volume 11. And then if we move them along, we can see that I have unread here and read and then unread and read, so all the way up. But I'm happy that I've read some of them, so up to this one here, which is Descending Stories. So yeah, my Kodansha is now complete. I can put it back into my drawer, and I will probably arrange it. I really should arrange it into read and unread, so I might do that, but I might just leave it the way it is. So this is what the drawer would look like if I organize it with read and unread. And I'm not mad at it. I think it's okay. I quite like it. So it makes me feel like, okay, I've only got this to read. I do have a few others to collect, obviously, but it makes me feel better to see all of this is read and I just have this to read. Eventually, I will run out of space in this drawer, but as it is just now, it's a nice little drawer and I'm happy about it. It feels good to see that I'm getting there in terms of collecting, but also in terms of my reading. I do need to pick up volume 2 so I can read all of these. And volume 6 obviously. But yeah, it helps me to see what I need to collect, but also what I need to read. Now when it comes to this drawer, this is my Neck Comics drawer, and most of the Neck Comics is in this, in my whole collection is in this drawer. And I think it would be actually easier for me to pull out the ones I've read and then just put everything else as unread. Because if I go through this, this is what's bad about collecting things and not actually ever reading them. This whole back row, I think, is unread. Isn't that shocking? Yeah, I don't think I've read anything. I thought maybe I'd done Prince Barry Volume 1, but I haven't. I haven't done Prince Barry. I haven't read any of that. Isn't that shocking? And even in this front row, I don't think I've read this one yet. Nope. I've read this one. And that's, well, I haven't actually. I don't think I finished it. Oh no, it's in an unread. It's still unread. Oh no. Oh, then I've read these two, and I've read volume 1. That's it. That's it. Guys, that's it. That's shocking. I have read. This is my read pile, and this is my unread pile. This is my TBR. This is what I've read. Oh, that's so bad. This is Tsundoku. This is 100% Tsundoku. This is when you collect things and you get piles and piles of books and you don't read any of them. Ah. And the only reason I haven't read volume 3 of this is because I don't actually own volume 2 yet, even though I could read it in, I think, Leshin have got it as well. And so I could use it, and I think it was on Wait Until Free for a while, so I could have read volume 2. Maybe I did read volume 2. I think I did read a bit of it. So yeah, this is it. That's really bad, isn't it? Oh no. So yeah, I'm not going to bother taking all of this out. This is going to be my unread, and this is my read, and I'm just going to put this over here like this. And then I'm going to know this is my read pile. But I'm going to go put this into my spreadsheet, because at least then I will know. But isn't that shocking? Terrible. When it comes to this drawer, I have quite a lot of unread, or I've read it, but it's been such a long time that it kind of warrants a reread. So for example, Legal Drug. I have read this, but I don't remember when I read it and how long ago it was. But I don't necessarily want to put it down as read. So there's like a few that I'm like a bit funny about. Vassalord I've definitely read, so I feel like that should move down to here. Almost all of the Gravitation I haven't read, which kind of is a bit ugh. So I kind of feel like this tiny little portion here is my read, and I can move a couple of things around. But I've read all of this. I've read this, I've read this. I haven't read all of this, I've only read one, and I haven't read these. So if I move volume 1 of this, which I know I've read, and my Vassalord down, and put these up, then that's pretty much it. So if I take out Vassalord and move Vassalord down here, that's my red pile, and it's not a huge pile, and I can put these in here. It's not great though. Once again, I can see that I've got absolutely loads of unread in this drawer, and it's just piling up. There's way too many that I haven't read yet, and I haven't actually made the effort to read. So yeah, I need to finish Star Collector because I was really excited to get it last year. So that I could read Star Collector volumes 1 and 2, because I've only read volume 1 and I haven't read volume 2 yet, and I really enjoy volume 1. So yeah, if I put a little marker here, everything else in this drawer I have not read or I cannot remember reading, so this is my red pile and it's not very big. So I'm going to put this into my spreadsheet. There are a few other things in my other collection that I haven't read as well, so I'm just gonna have to organize it and put it in. But when it comes to Tokyopop and old Tokyopop and the new Tokyopop, at least with the new Tokyopop is a better showing. I've read most of that, but it's not great. Once again, not great. When it comes to this drawer, it's going to be a bit tricky because there's lots of different publishers. This is my like miscellaneous drawer, so I'm going to have to do a lot of rearranging. Because there's a lot that I have read and there's a lot that I have not read, and there's a lot that I haven't actually put into my spreadsheet yet. So this is going to take a bit of time, and this is kind of the reason why I'm doing it, so I can go through this and be like, yes, I've definitely read this, or no, I haven't. Am I that interested in reading some of these though? I don't know. Anyway, we'll have to see. So I have rearranged it so that all of my red titles are at the back, and all of my unread titles are at the front. And I think this is much better. I have taken a few things out I'm gonna have to put back in, but they're unread anyway, so they're just gonna go on top of here. They're like the yaoi novels that were self-published, and also some self-published things from JL Langley. So it makes me feel better to know that I've actually read quite a lot, and like the massive thing that I haven't read in this are the 2 motohagios. I've read some of Drunken Dreams, not all of it. There was a really interesting, weird story about some sort of lizard lady. Oh, I mean, it was wild, but it was also really interesting. So I know I want to read more of motohagio and get more motohagio. Especially when they republished this one, I was so happy about it. So yeah, I have a few things here. I haven't collected all of Bloody Mary. I don't have all of Godchild, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep this. I purchased it because it was cheap, but I might get rid of it without even reading it, because I've never been interested in Karaoke. So if Karaoke is a good thing to read, should I read Godchild? Is it worth it? Let me know. I don't actually know anything about it. And I do want to collect the rest of Descendants of Darkness. I only have volume 11, so I haven't read that one. And I know that there's a couple more volumes of Loveless that have been published that I don't have. I have read Until the Full Moon, but not this particular copy, the Boysenberry one, but I have read the one from Kodacha. So I put it in the front, but I have read most of what's in this drawer, and that makes me happy. So it also makes me think, okay, I've got a couple more things to collect. So yeah, I'm really happy about this one. I'm not going to do the bottom drawer because that's like miscellaneous shonen stuff, a lot of Shonen Jump stuff, and also it's starting to get a bit dark, so I might do the rest of this tomorrow. So we'll catch up tomorrow and see how far I can get with this project. Okay, so it's actually quite late now. It's around 10 to 8 in the evening, so hopefully this is still okay and you can see. So yeah, it's getting a bit late, and I haven't had dinner yet because I've just been focused on this. I didn't realise it was taking me as long as it did. But what I've got left is I've just kind of sectioned it off to A to Z from read. So I can see everything that I've read and which collection it's in, and it's quite easy for me to just scroll down really quickly and see all the things that I know I've read, and I know which collection they're in. So it's quite easy to see and just fill in any of the blanks. So that's what I've been doing for about 5 minutes, so that everything that's in the red section, like for example, I knew that I'd read A Capable Man and Alley of First Love. I know I've read them, but I'd put them down as unread. So I just changed that. So I'm in the unreads now, and I can see that there's quite a few that I might need to go back and change, because I probably have read it. So for example, here I've got all the Junjo Romantica. I know I've read it, but have I actually sat down and read them all? Or in my mind, is it just because I read the Japanese? Because I've got them all in Japanese. So yeah, I need to make sure that I have actually read them. So I've just put them all down as unread. So some of the things that I know I've read, like for example, Secretary's Love. This is a blue title, and it's in my other collection. Now I know I've read that. When I purchased it, I read it. But do I remember anything about it? No. If you asked me anything, I would say not having a clue. So yeah, there's quite a few, and also I didn't know where some of them were in the collection. Now, if we scroll down all the way past all these that I know for a fact I have not read yet, that are all part of my TBR, which is kind of scary because it just keeps on going. We get to this section here, which is where I obviously got to in October and just kind of stopped. So it was quite a big task. So here we've got Bonds by Toko Kawaii, which is an 801 media title, so I need to go through them tomorrow. So I'm going to go through those drawers. And I need to know which collection it's in and if it is read or unread. Now, I don't think I've read it, so I can already put it as an unread. But do I have it in this collection or do I have it in my other collection? That's what I need to check. So I do need to go through all of the drawers. Some of them I already know that I have in this collection. I just haven't gone through the drawers yet. But as you can see, if we keep on scrolling, it's still a lot. And also there's a few things that I haven't added into this that I've purchased. A lot of Sublime titles and things that I know I have added since the last time I updated. So even though I've got 1,201 down for this bottom one, I know I've got to add in a few more. But it is nice to know that I've got over 1,200 in the collection, not including duplicates, obviously. But have I read any of them? I can see at a glance that yes, I have, which is good because I'll be able to put them in. So these bottom ones, for example, Teach Me Tutor was a fairly new one. I know I've read and it's in here. Suggestive Eyes was a newer one. Sleepless Nights, I've read that one. Skylink, I've read that one. So there's definitely some in here that I know I've read. But a lot of them are the June or June manga titles because I just was like, what was that? What does it look like? And I need to actually go through them and check. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So I'll see you in a second. So this is the end of part 1 of this video. I had planned to just do one big long video, but it's getting incredibly long, so I've split it up. And this is the end of part 1. If you would like to watch part 2, then consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell to get notified when that part is up so that you do not miss this or any other video. Consider liking this video if you liked it. Comment, share, all that lovely stuff. I am 365801 and I make videos about BL manga, yaoi, male romance and all that good stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching today. Take care everyone and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!